Hello, everyone. Um, it's been a real crazy week this week, and I know that I should have done a video um, about a very long email that I've received from one of my viewers, and then this week also too, I've been in the hospital since Tuesday morning. I just felt very sick, and I just said I had some type of virus. It's something that just goes away on its own course, and I'm feeling a lot better right now. So, I did have an issue uh, with one of my viewers that did write me an extremely long email. I wanted to ask her some questions either by video or by my channel here on the video or by email, and this person really whacked out on me. So, I mean, I kind of knew at some point. I kind of figured out that she was a narc, and she just like really went off of me and said I was totally off base for accusing her of being a narc and gaslighting and all that. And it makes me kind of wonder um, if this person happens to be one of my narc sisters, because I wouldn't put it past any of them. I wonder if one of it might have been my golden child sister, or if it could have been my loudmouth sister. I wouldn't put anything past him to pose or impose as being somebody else. Would not surprise me a bit. And you know what? Sisters of mine, if that is you and you think you're slick, I've already been writing a book about this whole family. So the more shit you're going to try to pull here, the more I'm going to expose. But I'm going to let that be another video. When, I don't know yet. But this one in particular, I want to do a video on another email that a lady has written to me, and like I said, I want to make it. I want to try to make it an understanding amongst all of you. What are, if any of you, that would send me an email on a suggestion or your story and you want me to get it out there? My question is, if you want me to either use your story on my channel, or we can write privately email and don't get it on channel. There's some people might be kind of iffy about privacy and things like that, but one thing I will never do is really tell you your name. And if it's okay with you, I could kind of briefly or describe the scenario of your email and go from there. I'm a big thing about privacy. And so this one comes from a lady that has said something, and this is her recent one. Thank you for getting back with me and for your support. I apologize, I was at work, so I was no longer to reply to your email sooner. Uh, and this lady here, she's in low contact with her mother, and the rest of her family are a bunch of narcs. And so this email says I'm a low contact, and I asked her in an email, well, why are you low contact? Does it have anything to do with inheritance, money, or is there something that you feel that you have to still stay attached to your narcissistic mother and her family? So she goes and explains this email why she has stayed low contact with the narcissistic mother. But she says here that I'm low contact with my mom because sometimes I send her money, and when I go home from my leave, I usually visit with her. I usually stay for a few hours because beyond that, I am back to the role when I was a child, with her trying to control everything in the name of care. From the other narcs, I have now no contact, as I stopped going home for Christmas and New Year's and other holidays. I moved out of the country to get peace from that whole toxic family charade. However, I still get to hear what they say about me from other relatives with whom I'm in touch. It bothers me because I have never done anything wrong to them. yet they spread malicious rumors about me. Yes, I have been thought of my recovery time has taken too long, but I now realize it's because I have been partially been exposing myself to them and not concentrating on getting better, and also not concentrating on God. I also have no support system whatsoever because I do not want to burden my friends and those family members who care um, with all of this, as they will not understand. Um, they always tell me to call my mom and visit her when I come home, and many times I find them just not ready. I leave feeling drained and worse off. Journaling sounds like a good idea. I'll try it. And then she goes on to say, I'm tired of being a doormat. I often feel that I'm too nice and end up being used a lot. And then she just basically said she didn't mind if I shared her story on YouTube and if it could help somebody else, of course. So, obviously, you know, this lady has remained low contact with her narcissistic mother. And what I have to really say, now that I have a better understanding, because before I answer this, I want to tell anybody who sends me email about their story, just always know I'm going to ask questions, and I have to ask questions so I can make sure that I am on the same page with you about things. Because I don't want to sit here, go on a blind assumption, just read something and just do a video, and just then you get disappointed, and then you're wondering, well, man, this person did not understand my story, or this person got it wrong, or this person, you know, didn't do my email justice, or whatever. So I'm going to ask questions, so I can get a picture in my head of what's going on, and to be able to understand if what I'm reading here, I'm understanding as I read it, and I'm going to ask questions so I get a better understanding, a better picture, and I can better assist you. First of all, now that I have a clear understanding that this lady is done low contact because you send money, I would have to say, well, why is it your responsibility to send her money? She's basically using you for a purpose, and that purpose is of money. So at this point, you don't owe her or the rest of the narcs in your family nothing. My advice to you, you have to cut her off. And you've already indicated in your email that you are now, from the other narcs, that you are no contact at all as of right now, because you have stopped going home for Christmas and New Year's and other holidays. So that's a step in the right direction. So I really applaud you on that. Good step in the right direction. You moved out of the country to get a piece of the whole family charade. That's awesome too. So another good step in the right direction. The people that I guess you still get to hear what people say. I guess other relatives of whom you are in touch. Okay, well, those relatives that you're still in touch and they're still spreading malicious lies about you, that's part of the problem. So just because you physically removed yourself from that whole environment, that's half the battle. So what you have to do is cut everybody associated with the family, even friends with the family. And if you have friends that just don't completely get what you're going through, because there is a video about where I say about people who don't get it, video. So if you haven't seen that video, I advise you to go watch that video, because I do mention on there about you're going to have some friends or people that know you that are not narcissists, and they don't get it because obviously they were blessed with a good family that are not narcissistic, so they're not going to get it. So if those people aren't going to get it and not going to be behind you, you have to cut those people off too. Basically, you have to really just start anew with a clean slate, because let me tell you something, honey, you can make friends anywhere. And if you have friends that don't get what you're going through, then they're not going to be any help to you. They're going to hinder your recovery and your healing. And I can really tell you that. You basically just have to just cut your losses, start a new clean slate. You can make friends anywhere. So what you're going to have to do is first work on yourself before you can have any friends. I mean, if you happen to stumble on some friends along the way, now that you start over, you're turning a new leaf, you know, you can still be sociable, but still, you know, still work on yourself, because there's a lot of wounds I see, and there's a lot of, a lot of hurt there. So you have a lot of work. Like I said, separating yourself and moving away from your family, that's good, and now you have to really cut things completely off with your mother. It's sad but true, but you have to really cut it off. And you just have to start anew and work on yourself. Find yourself a good therapist, which isn't always the easiest thing to do. And, I've reached a point that I've um, trying to find a therapist that specializes in narcissism, that's had experience, and unfortunately, to no avail, I have not found anybody. So basically, I had to really just came to the conclusion. It's like, well, you know what? I'm going to let God be my therapist, and I'm going to continue to journal and continue to pray, and that's good enough. Obviously, I can't find anybody. It's very difficult, and you just can't just take any therapist. They can help you on some things, but as far as getting to the deep root of the problem, the narcissistic abuse that you've been subjected to, it's kind of hard to find. So, not impossible, but very hard to find. Um, yes, that okay, you realize your recovery is too long, but now you have to quit exposing yourself to these people, and now it's time to focus on you. You got to get yourself together, and you know what? And I know you indicated here that you have no support system. Well, honey, I'm going to tell you this. You can be your own support system. And if I was in your shoes, I would say I'd rather be alone than rather be around people who don't get what I'm going through. And being around a bunch of people that's associated with the family that can continue to give information about what you're doing and what you're trying to do for yourself, and continually your narcissistic family, including mother, will continually get information through those people. So really, you have to cut yourself completely off. I mean, there's no way around it. There's no easy way. You have to cut off the poison. you know. And moving, like I said, moving is one thing, and you know, try to get yourself together. But also too, if you're talking to anybody associated with your narc family, or even a few relatives that you think are on your side, and then find out that they're not because they're doing malicious things and everything, then you know where you stand. So right there, okay, they just showed themselves to you. Time to cut them off. You know, and especially your mother. So, that there's no easy way around it. You have to work on yourself, and you have to work on working on that inner child within you and healing that inner child in you too. You can do it. It's doable. So, it's God will be your guide, because let me tell you something. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I would have not found the closure. I would have not overcome and have healed quicker than, than usual, or than your average, person that's been subjected to this type of abuse. God has really helped me out a lot. So I encourage you to really get in tune with God. He understands your situation. Pray, journal, find yourself a good therapist. It does take a lot of work to really find one, um, and I encourage you to do so. Got a lot of groundwork to really work with, and I really feel for you. So you had to cut it all off, all the way around, not halfway, not some people. You cut it all off. And you start working on yourself. You continue to empower yourself by watching videos like my channel and many other narcissistic abuse channels. You can watch their channels as well. Do lots of reading. Continue to find yourself a good therapist. And if anything else, if you can't even find one that specializes in narcissism, there's other issues that you could possibly work on through a therapist. Maybe like anger, resentment, confidence issues. You could still even use a therapist also in that way too. Even if you can't find one specialized in narcissism, but you could probably also find a therapist that would even deal with, like, confidence issues, because that's damage from your narcissistic mother and family, and blaming yourself, inferiority complexes, um, you know, um, there's still some, childhood issues that you were coming, those can be dealt with, and you can at least get help in those areas and do the journaling, because journaling has helped me tremendously. Really does. Just getting all those feelings out on paper really, really help. So I hope I have addressed everything on here. That I hope I've addressed everything here on your email here. And if not, you're more than welcome to privately email me and let me know. Stay in touch with private email. And this story, for the rest of you that can really relate to this lady that has been in low contact with her mother, and then the rest of the family, that's, if any of you can relate to this lady's situation, please by all means feel free to comment in the comment box. And I thank all of you for your continued emails and stories. I really enjoy reading each and every one of them. Before I go, I really, really want to thank each and every one of you for sticking by me and backing me up on the last video I did when I was recently encountered a narc. And I really appreciate each and every one of you. Your support and backing me up, it really, really means the world to me. The next video, I'm not really sure. Well, I might do one on maybe like narcissistic jealousy and competition. I think that sounds like a very, very good one. So I think I'll do one on narcissism and jealousy. So until then, this is Mary Allen signing off, and I wish each and every one of you peace, love, and wellness. Thank you. Bye. Take care for now. Okay, is there a reason why this isn't doing what I tell it to do?